high-tech products. Today I wanted to talk with you about reducer selection and things to consider when you're putting your reducer in your product. So ultimately we use reducers a lot in primers, sealers, base coat primarily, and then also clear coats depending if they're pre-reduced or not. So most of our reducer speeds in most lines are going to be set up like this, to where your fast reducer is going to be set up for 55 to 65, which is really too cold for spraying your top coats anyway, so try and get your temperature up. Medium is for 65 to 75 degrees, and slow is going to be for 75 and up. A couple other factors that you need to consider when you are using and trying to figure out which reducer to use is airflow and job size are just as important as temperature. So if I'm spraying a fender and it's 70 degrees, we might think that medium reducer is perfect for that. But if I'm now doing let's say a whole front end of a vehicle or even an overall at 70 degrees, we want to make sure it has plenty of time to flash and for everything to level and flow. Stepping up to the slow reducer at that point is going to make a lot more sense for you. Even though it's 70 degrees, you're still going to give that base coat more time to level and flow like it should. So temperature, airflow, and job size. Anytime airflow increases or job size increases, you need to slow down your reducer speeds. It's going to give you a better paint job and a better end result. One thing I do like to talk about when it does come to reducer speeds as well is when we're going too fast, as we pull the trigger, the only thing we're asking reducer to do is to atomize and make the product sprayable out of a gun. And it's always coming out there in the size of a droplet. And when that droplet hits the panel itself, if it's at 70 degrees and we're using fast reducer, what is going on is we're more than likely over applying product to get it to wet up, and it's drying too fast, which can lead to trapped solvents, as well as that droplet itself does not have time to lay down and level and flow and be smooth. So that same panel at 70 degrees, we're now using medium reducer. That same droplet, we're going to get by with a thinner coat. That droplet's going to stay wetter longer. It's going to allow especially the metallics to orientate properly. And those droplets are then going to level out and flatten out and give us a smoother finish. This works across the board, even in primers as well as clear coats. So it's very important that we pay attention to that reducer selection, because if we end up with this rough texture here, that texture itself can telegraph all the way through the paint job. We can end up with a rougher surface, as well as if we're over applying, we can end up with trapped solvent. And when we trap our solvent, what we will get is dieback and potentially even solvent pop itself in our end result. If you've all seen that job to where you've done it, looks beautiful straight off the gun, you come back in the next morning and it has gone dull on you, and now you're spending time wet sanding and polishing, either trying to take out texture or bring the gloss level back up. That's more than likely your reducer selection to begin with that caused that problem for you. You may need to slow your reducer speed down, give it more time to flash in between coats, but ultimately it's still going to save you time in the long run. One of the industry sayings has always been slower is faster. So if you take your time with the job, let it flash in between coats, you're going to end up with a better end result. So that's what I have for you today about that. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us at hightech.com. If you have any projects you've done, please find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and share what you've done. If you're looking for a distributor in your area, use our website for that as well. Click on the Find a Distributor button, type in your zip code, and you'll find your closest distributors to you. So thank you very much, and when performance counts, count on High Tech.